Hello, everyone. Donna Kay here with this week's Let's Talk ADHD with Donna Kay. Guys, if you are tuning in, give me a wave in the chat so I can know that I'm coming through okay and you can hear my voice. Super excited to be here. Going to be talking about multivitamins for kids with ADHD. This is like a topic that is talked about a lot. So stay tuned if you've ever wondered about multivitamins for ADHD. Hi, thanks for giving me a smiley face. Is the screen fuzzy? Let me just clean my camera. Sorry about that. It kind of looks fuzzy to me. Is anyone else seeing that fuzzy? Or is it clear? Whoop. That might be better. Let me know. Is that better? I don't know. I do want to get into talking about multivitamins for ADHD, but I want to know that I think that might be cleaner. Maybe my camera was just a little bit fuzzy. Which multivitamin is best for my child that has ADHD? If you've ever wondered this, stick around because that is what I'm going to be answering today in this week's live. Let's talk ADHD with Donna Kay. Thank you for saying it's better now. Fabulous. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm Donna Kay, board-certified health and nutrition practitioner, and I specialize in helping families learn how to naturally reduce ADHD symptoms in their children. Thanks for letting me know. It is all coming through clear. Now, this is one of the most common questions I get asked from families that I work with. But I have to tell you, I honestly don't love multivitamins. You know, they kind of claim to provide a wide variety of minerals and vitamins, but they actually don't really provide enough of any of them to make it worth the money. It's so much better to get what you need from food and from a few key supplements tailored for your child. I've found that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to supplements, and supplements should really be tailored to each individual. Now, don't get me wrong. I will give you some suggestions here on what you can do and what you can implement when it comes to supplementation, but I like to tailor it to each child, you know, to address specific opportunities in that individual body. You know, some children are helped by supplements that target certain minerals and vitamins. Some children have bacterial overgrowth, and so we need to bring in things for that. Some children might see no effects whatsoever, or worse, they see negative effects when they start adding in supplements. Now, I don't want you to waste a bunch of money on supplements that aren't tailored towards your child, because when I first started my journey with my son, that is exactly what I did. I spent a fortune trying this supplement and that supplement that someone said was the miracle, cure for your child, for my child. You know, in the end, most of these supplements didn't help my son at all. One of them, I remember, made his behavior so much worse. So what I like to tell the families that I work with, someone's asking a question. I'm going to come back and answer questions right at the end. So I will come back and answer that one. But what I tell the families that I work with is to try and get a lot of the nutrients they need for their children through food. You know, I want to say food is always our first medicine. We go there first to really try to improve the body, the state of the gut. I know that some kids are picky eaters, so don't jump to conclusions yet. I will give you some solutions there. Our children should be getting a lot of their nutrients through eating a well-balanced diet that's really designed to maintain healthy levels of like key nutrients and to foster emotional regulation and brain development. So if you're just beginning the healing journey for your child with ADHD, guys, let me know who here has a child with ADHD. Just put your hand up, because I want to know that I'm talking to the right audience. You know, if you're starting out, or have you been on this journey for a while? You know, my recommendation for those just starting out is begin by reducing the inflammation in the body. You want to cut out gluten. You want to cut out dairy, as well as artificial flavors and colors, and really just start feeding the body with more fruits and veggies, more whole foods, grass-fed, wild-caught protein sources, healthy fats, that sort of thing. Eat less processed foods. Now, once a family has started working on their diet, done some of those things, feeling comfortable there, then let's start with some supplementation, okay? I can see that a number of people are saying that I've got a grandchild, I've got a child, myself and my kiddo. We are going to be talking, someone saying I'm jumping in late, but could an organ meat supplement work for a multivitamin for an ADHD child? I love organ meat supplements because it's real food, for sure. Saffron is one of those ones I love as well. And I will come back and answer questions at the end. So if you have any, drop them in the chat and I will answer them for you. Now, I like to do functional lab testing to see what that child's body is deficient in. You know, it makes no sense to give a supplement without first determining if the body actually needs that supplement. You know, don't worry, I will be giving you a few that I love anyway. Has anyone heard of functional lab testing? Because, you know, it's really looking at what's going on in that body and then tailoring specific suggestions around that. Now, with that being said, there are a few really good supplements that are good for just about everyone. And you'll see from the list that I give you, I actually don't recommend any multivitamins. That's because in a multivitamin, they tend to have a lot of different minerals, but not enough of any one mineral or any one vitamin. So you get several different minerals or vitamins, but not enough of any. Okay. Now, what I recommend instead is targeted supplements. And each of these supplements I suggest are targeted to one specific process, one specific issue or mineral in the body. Okay. I will come back and answer the questions at the end. Now, here are a few of my favorites. A good quality probiotic. Okay. Now, some people are asking about gut testing. Now, as you may already know, there is a really close link between the gut and the brain. When the gut isn't functioning well, the brain can't function at its best either. And the brain has many areas that are involved in gut function, but one of the main areas is the frontal lobe. And the frontal lobe is involved in things like attention and focus and executive function and planning and organizing, problem solving. Now, I bet some of you are listening today have kiddos that struggle with those things. My son did back in the day when he was really struggling with his ADHD. So ensuring the gut is functioning at its best will ensure our children's frontal lobe is functioning well. Research shows that taking probiotics can really help support that gut-brain connection. But, and this is a big but, the problem with a lot of probiotics is they actually don't survive digestion. So a lot of these general strains don't survive digestion. You take it and then it ends up coming out into the poop. So you might do a lab test or a gut test after you've been taking probiotics and it shows that your normal levels in some of these strains, but that's because it's coming out in the poop. It's going to say that. As soon as you stop taking it, it's going to go away. So you really want to make sure you're getting a probiotic that does survive digestion. So not all probiotics are created equal. The one that I love to use with the families that I work with is Thrive. And that is because it survives digestion. It actually reseeds the gut. It's called a spore forming probiotic. So it's kind of like the garden at springtime. You put down the seeds and then the garden grows what it needs. It grows the grass that it needs. So rather than putting in strains that go away once the supplement is stopped, it actually starts to help the garden grow or the gut grow the good bacteria that it actually needs. Now, Thrive is even better. And a couple of people have been talking about saffron. So not only does it contain these spore-forming probiotics that can survive digestion and reseed the gut, which a lot out there can't, it also contains a probiotic strain that is going to help that gut-brain connection for that calm, sort of yet focused state of mind. And it contains saffron. Okay, so you're actually getting a bit more bang for your buck. We're not just doing a saffron supplement, we're actually doing the probiotic as well and the saffron together. That is one of the reasons I love ProThrive so much, along with providing that probiotic. It contains that saffron. Now, when the saffron in the ProThrive is especially paired with the two forms of probiotics, it can have some pretty powerful effects. I'm going to just share a couple of studies around saffron so you know. In one study, researchers tested the effects of saffron extract on 54 children aged between 6 and 17 with ADHD. Approximately half of those children received saffron, while the other half received methylphenidate, which is a common prescription medication used to treat ADHD. They then tracked ADHD symptoms at baseline and again at week 3 and week 6. Saffron showed equal efficacy as methylphenidate. I was blown away when I read that study, and there's a number of those studies out there, and I think that's huge. Now, I want to say one thing before I continue on to the next supplements that I love. You can't supplement your way out of a poor diet, so you can't expect any supplement or pill to be the be-all and end-all for ADHD, but this ProThrive probiotics, especially paired with that saffron, can really be beneficial for kids with ADHD. So that's called ProThrive. You can find the link in my bio under Shop ADHD Supplements for that. Again, we'll go through ProThrive for someone that was asking. My accent sometimes is really hard. Even though I've lived in America for almost 10 years, I still don't say it the way that you guys do. So it's ProThrive. Now, the second one is one you probably know well, and it's great coming into the fall and the winter months, and that's vitamin C. And I know it sounds, pretty just general vitamin C. Obviously, it boosts the immune system, which is what we know pretty well. It helps keep our bodies healthy. And the reason I love it so much for kids with ADHD is because a lot of them are suffering with inflammation in their body. A lot of them are suffering with something called oxidative stress. And vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that will help reduce that oxidative stress, help reduce that inflammation in the body. My favorite is from a company called Paleo Valley. They have something called Essential C Complex. It's 100% natural. And the reason I love it so much is because it comes from food. It comes from 3 of the most concentrated natural known sources of vitamin C: alma berry, camu berry, and acerola cherry. Okay, so most other vitamin C supplements are derived from GMO corn, which is not what we want, and really only contain 1 fraction of the vitamin, ascorbic acid. But Paleo Valley's it incorporates the whole spectrum, and there's no synthetic vitamin C in there at all. It's just organic superfoods. Again, you can find the link in my bio to Shop ADHD Supplements. Now, the next one, omega-3 fatty acids. They are crucial for brain health and are often low in children with ADHD. In fact, omega-3 deficiency is actually commonplace in the United States, not just for kids with ADHD. And that's because that foods that are high in omega-3 fatty acids are often the ones that are rarely consumed by most Americans, especially children. And now our bodies actually can't make omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acids on their own. And the only way we can, obtain those is actually through diet or through supplementation. Now, unfortunately, most Americans don't eat enough foods that are high in omega-3s. But to make matters worse, most Americans eat way too much omega-6. Okay, they're found in many plant-based oils. Okay, you love my accent. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, can they understand me? So omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are actually meant to be in a 1-to-1 ratio in the body, but because the way the Western diet is, the amount of omega-6 in our bodies has reached huge, unprecedented proportions. But in contrast, the omega-3s is extremely low in Americans, especially in children who rarely eat oily fish. So having that proper fatty acid ratio really helps support brain function, memory, clear thinking, mood, organizational skills, all things that kiddos with ADHD can benefit from. So you can definitely see why omegas are super important for kids with ADHD. My favorite one is something called Omega Thrive, and you can find the link in my bio under supplements. But I want to say one thing, not all omegas are created equal, and there are a lot out there that are actually rancid. And so you need to be really careful with buying omegas. Okay, the next one is magnesium. I could list, I'm just doing 4 today, I think, because I could be here for hours and hours, but I think everyone can benefit from these ones. Magnesium, it is so important for nervous system regulation. A lack of magnesium can make it harder for kiddos with ADHD to relax and calm down. And this mineral is actually used in over 300 biochemical processes in the body. It is important for muscle relaxation, supporting the immune system, keeping the heartbeat steady, regulating blood glucose levels. It aids in the production of energy. So as you can see, it's quite important. 300 biochemical processes in the body. I will talk to you about the magnesium types. There are so many out there. But many parents find that magnesium makes a surprising difference to their kids' anxiety and depression. It aids in sleep. It also reduces hyperactivity. There are studies supporting the efficacy of magnesium in anxiety, depression, sleep. Totally out there to support it. And the interesting thing is stress actually just depletes magnesium. So if you're already low in magnesium, anxiety unfortunately can make the levels worse, and so it does become this vicious cycle. So it makes a lot of sense that many parents say magnesium was the game changer for their families. Now, my favorite one is called Mind Thrive. You can find it in the bio in my bio. I will say there are many types of magnesium out there. I personally find 3 types are the best for kids with ADHD. I've done a lot of research on them. Firstly, I will say if your kid is constipated, you want to try something that's magnesium citrate. But if they're not constipated, that is not the best form. I find that the best sort of forms for our kiddos is magnesium bisglycinate. That's going to really give you that calming effect. Great for sleep, great for anxiety, great for reducing hyperactivity. Sucrosomial magnesium, that is really great for supporting that gut-brain connection. Then we've got magnesium malate and magnesium lithreonate. So I would say those are the top 4. Mind Thrive actually combines a number of those together, specifically designed for kids with ADHD, and that's why I love that so much. I'd prefer to be able to get a couple of them to get the benefit. All of them have slightly different benefits, but constipation only magnesium citrate or magnesium oxide. If there's no constipation, then you want to focus on those other ones. Hopefully that helps. Now, in terms of how much magnesium you should give a child with ADHD, every child is different. You've got to take into consideration their weight. You've got to take into consideration what else they're taking. So it's really hard for me to guide you because I don't actually know much about your child. Yeah, sorry about that. Now, one thing to keep in mind when not all supplement brands are created equal. I want to share a story. One of the mums in my program recently shared with us. I think it's a horror story. It's great timing, soon to be Halloween. She was actually running low on a supplement that her child uses daily, and she wanted to get a refill there as quickly as possible. So she ordered off Amazon. So instead of like the normal sites that she buys from, and when the bottle arrived, the pills were a totally different color than the normal ones she received. And she contacted the company directly, and sure enough, the pills she received were fake. I mean, who knows what might have been in them? And for me, that's super, super scary. So, how do you know if you're getting safe, pure supplements? You want to order from a place that you trust. I'm a bit biased, of course, because I absolutely love the fact that our supplements come directly from the manufacturer. I know they're safe. I know they contain what they contain. I know they don't have additives or fillers, because I would never suggest anything that has that. Do not buy supplements at Target. Do not buy supplements at the local supermarket or the local drugstore, because you aren't really getting those quality. You're not getting, they're going to have fillers in it. Now, so just making sure that you get a place that you trust. Okay. Now I'm going to go and think and answer some of the questions that have gone here. So let me just scroll back. Someone asked how recommendation to get tested for correct nutritional levels of kiddos. So that's when I talk about functional lab testing. Many of the families I work with, they want a more targeted approach to healing what's going on in their child's body. They don't want to just add in supplements that their child may or may not really need. So they start by doing functional lab testing. I'm sorry, my dog is barking. Now, when we get the results back and we see specific stresses their child is having, we can target our supplementation to fit specifically. I don't want to go into a ton of details on testing right now, just to keep this live somewhat short, but I'd be happy to talk to you over PM. You can totally drop me a PM note. I can actually send you a video on lab testing. I don't even know if I've got a video that talks about the top sort of 3 or 4 tests you should start with. Is it in my bio? I don't know. Send me a PM and say, lab testing. You might actually even be able to say lab testing and drop it below. It may send it to you automatically. I don't know, with all these automations and stuff. But if it doesn't, you can send me a thing and just say, can you send me the video on lab testing? And I'll totally send that through to you. Mind Thrive is actually going to be in stock probably late next week. We have had such a big rush on it, so it is going to be back in stock late next week. Let me see. Jennifer, tell me if the automation worked when you dropped lab testing. I want to know if the automation worked, and then everyone else can do it. If not, you're going to have to send me a direct PM or DM, direct message, if it didn't work. But if it did, let me know, and then others will know. Recommendations to get tested. Okay, we've talked about that. What kind of magnesium? We've talked about that. Mold. If we highly suspect mold problem in our home, would it be smart to start taking supplements now, before or after? Okay, Melissa, this is a really tricky one. You want to, every child is so different, and I'm sorry that you are struggling with mold. I know how overwhelming that can feel for you. We've worked with so many families that have found mold colonization in their child's body as a result of the lab testing that we've done with them, and it's sent them on this journey to then find that their house has mold as well. So my suggestion would be, you want to try and get out of that home as quickly as possible so you can start to heal the body while it's being remediated. Try not to stay in the house. And it will depend on, is your child suffering? Is your family suffering right now? Is everyone having symptoms from that mold? Will be whether or not I would guide you to start taking supplements now. Are they pooping daily? If not, we need to get that happening first. You can bring in certain binders once those that pooping is happening, to really start binding out some of that mold. But really, you want to get out of that mold. You want to do testing to see if it's colonized in the body. There are a couple tests out there that you can do. My favorite test for colonization is the organic acid test. You could do a mycotoxin test, but I actually prefer to determine whether or not it's colonized in the body or not. And so there's a lot that goes into that. And so that's kind of a loaded question, but hopefully that just gives you some guidance on where to start. If you want to talk about it more specifically, send me a DM. I'd be happy to answer that. How do you know or test for their gut bacteria being off? Callan, if you want to get that video on lab testing, send me a PM or DM, whatever you call it, and I can send that through to you. You could try just bringing in something like Pro Thrive and try changing the diet. I can tell you that I've worked with over 1,300 families. I would say, 40% of them, we can reduce inflammation in the body through the diet, through the lifestyle, and through base supplements as a whole to reduce that, and they thrive and they don't need to go further. But for others, it may be that we do need to go further with that lab testing. For gut testing, which company do you recommend? Now, no gut test company out there is the best. There's a lot of false positives, false negatives. My favorite is probably between Vibrant Wellness Gut Zoomer and the Microbiome Labs BiomeFX. They both look at it differently, but I can tell you we can get coverage on knowing what's going on in the gut with other tests without doing the stool test. So if you want that lab testing video, send me a DM. I've talked about saffron. I'm late. Organ meat, we've talked about that. Look, grounding, I don't have a specific recommendation of brands on grounding. I think that grounding, that can be a small part of the bigger plan. I don't think grounding mat on its own is actually going to help a child with ADHD. Is it a good component? For sure. And so we like to take this sort of overall approach. We want to reduce that inflammation in the body through multiple areas. And we do that with a little bit of diet. We do that with a little bit of supplements. We do that with a little bit of lifestyle changes. And then we can reduce that load on the body. And then the kid can start thriving. So those are those questions. Can anyone tell me if that lab testing automation came through to your DM or not? If it did, let me know. If not, guys, if you didn't get anything, send me a DM and just say, can I have the lab testing video? So someone said, just join, what multivitamin do you recommend? It was a long live. I'm actually going to post this to my feed in about 10 minutes. I would suggest you go watch that. It's not one specific multivitamin that I recommend. So I suggest that you go back and watch the video when I post it to my feed. So someone's saying, so true. I've started taking away all dye-induced foods, no slushies, no sodas, took away lactose milk, and my son is doing so much better in just a month. I highly recommend Dana. Oh, thank you, Jackie. That is amazing. Good on you. I am so impressed. I don't know what what did you say? No, I didn't say anything. I'm not sure with the grounding mat. I don't have a specific brand. Sorry about that. It didn't work for you. Okay. So guys, if you want that lab testing video, send me a DM in Instagram to say, can you send me the lab testing video? Sorry that automation didn't work. I'll definitely get my team to turn it on for next time because I know everyone's so interested in learning about lab testing. But guys, I think that is it for today. I hope this has been helpful. The interaction from you guys is amazing. You can join me here each and every week. I go live every Tuesday answering your questions about all things ADHD. So if you have a specific question you want me to do on one of these lives, let me know and I will totally do it. But that's it for today, guys. Have a great day and I will talk to you all soon.